What's up, guys? It's Dr. Seth, max effort lower day, running some heavy camber bar squats today, and I just put up an Instagram Ask Me Anything, so we'll get through some of your questions as we're working up. It'll be my first heavy free squat in a while, so we'll see if the box squats actually paid off. First question, how do you know when the right time is to start pushing after an injury? And in reality, you really never will know when it is time to push, but using my pec as an example, I never wasn't pushing appropriate to what the pec could handle. I was doing what I could do with it the entire time, and I'm just doing what I can do with it the entire time. So where most people get stuck with injury is that they have an injury, they do nothing for 3 months, and then they have no clue what they're capable of doing. It gets really hard to build up after. But if we're able to do stuff the whole way, progress the whole way, we're gonna be able to make progress the whole way through. Next set of squats.
Keep the head, keep the head.
Feeling good so far, optimism still intact. Next question, you're gonna go training. What percentage of 1 rep max to use in dynamic effort in a 4-week mesocycle without bands? And the big problem with this kind of question is that there is no magical percentage to use for speed work because your leverages are different than my leverages. You might be stronger than me, you might be weaker than me. We need different things on our speed work. And when I'm getting somebody to do speed work, the big thing that I'll tell them to do is pick the lightest weight that they can still push into through the full range of motion. Because we don't want to be so light that it's just a wiffle ball and we don't actually have to push into it. We don't want to be much heavier than that, because if it's much heavier than that, we'll be starting to take away from our other work. So we want to nail the lightest weight that we can be productive with. And if someone is stronger or better leverage for a lift, they can afford to go lighter. If someone is weaker or if they have worse leverage for a lift, they can afford to go a little bit heavier. So just try to figure out what the lightest weight you can use to push into it through the whole range. Use that as your week 1. Take, 3, 4, 5, 7% jump week 2, and then just keep jumping through the wave, then go back down and just repeat, go back down, repeat. And then when that weight starts to feel too light, you know you can bump it up a little bit on your week 1. Getting too skinny. 635 on the bar. This is the let's see how the day is going to go kind of set.
Good. Pull. Yep. Easy.
They're moving. Next question, does beltless lifts really matter for core strength, or can you always wear a belt on comp lifts? And I'm biased to think that beltless training is pretty pointless unless we were doing it specifically to put less weight on the bar. Running it beltless will take weight off the bar, which can make it go lighter, which can act as a bit of a deload. But in regards to torso training, yes, beltless is harder on the torso, but bracing with a belt is a different skill than bracing beltless. And when I'm squatting, I want to be good at bracing with my belt on, so I don't want to waste time training beltless. If I want to make my torso strong, I'm going to train my torso outside of the beltless training, because I can train my torso much better with things like sit-ups, with things like GHR sit-ups, with things like rotations, so that the shit actually gets better at contracting. Because holding a muscle isometrically is not the best way to get it strong, so why should our core training only be isometric? 705 next, let's go.
Yep, abs. Pull. Get up.
Woo! Like 760?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Be more assertive on the way down.
If the bar's fucking...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go slow to that bar.
Okay.
They're still moving. Gonna keep answering questions till I'm done working up. Next one is, how much pain is okay in training or rehab? Should we always aim for 0? And that is a big fat nope, because 0 pain, no matter if someone is fucked up and they're coming back from pec surgery or if they are totally healthy, zero pain is completely unrealistic if we're actually doing shit with our bodies, because stuff will hurt time from time, and it doesn't always need to be a problem, and it doesn't always need to be a panic. And when we are dealing with pain, when we are working with pain, we need to understand that if we want the thing to get better and work better, we need to challenge it so that it can adapt and then get better. And by challenging it, we have to push it a little bit, so we almost have to feel things just a little bit in order to get better. But if we feel them too much, we're at risk of making them feel worse, not just from a tissue damage aspect, because it's very rarely often that we're causing more damage by making it hurt, but we're creating the potential for sensitization. Pain is like an alarm, and if we don't listen to that alarm, the brain's gonna make it go off louder, because it's like, hey asshole, let's quit doing the thing that we're doing that's causing me pain, so let's make it hurt more so we stop. So if we keep like going into it, it's gonna feel worse and worse and worse, but if we do nothing, we're also not gonna get better. So what do? We just train to the point where we kind of feel it, but it doesn't feel out of control, where we kind of like feel something happening that we're using the thing, but it's not making us go, oh, this is bad. So general guideline is going to be, if you can keep pain under, a 4 to 6 out of 10, you're probably in the okay range. If you're getting above that, you're probably putting yourself at risk of making things hurt the next time even more than it did that day. And if we want to feel better, we don't want to be doing things that feel worse, so don't push it to the point where it feels really, really, really shitty. Anyways, 760 on the bar, let's give her a whirl.
Let's go, fucker.
Fucker, let's go.
Good, lats on. Execution. Pull. Get up.
Yeah!
So the trick to this bar is getting to the hole in a good position, because if you can get to the hole in a good position, you're gonna be able to stand it up like 99% of the time. The problem is that getting to the hole in a good position is really freaking difficult, because it wants to buck you around like crazy. And like that said, concentrically, like that felt strong. On the eccentric, I'm not sure if I can hold position with much more than I just did. So I'm pretty okay with that on this bar. So one more question. What are the problems you see with the McGill approach to low back pain and rehab? And I think the biggest problem with McGill is not McGill or what he says himself. It is people parroting shit that McGill said in 1992 without understanding that the man's worldview has progressed. And then you get people saying that McGill is wrong about everything because all they hear is people repeating shit that he said in 1992 without actually understanding where he has gone, because a lot of the things that I hear attributed to McGill are not the same things that he's saying today. And people just want to think that the big three is all there is, and there's no progression from that. All you got to do is big three. You have to progress from big three. You have to move forward. You have to start exploring more range. You have to start exploring more movements. And like the McGill big three is a sick start point if you have low back pain. It's just that you need to progress from that. And everyone who is anti-McGill, or everyone who thinks McGill is never move your back can't do anything, or discs injuries are terrible, everyone go watch the newest Table Talk with Stu McGill, because it will be eye-opening for you. And when I was at Swiss, McGill was one of the old guys that actually impressed me the most, because I was expecting to be like, this guy. I was not. He was so open, he was so good, he was so much better than a lot of the people in his age bracket in terms of being open to the future and not just wanting to cut new people down. So McGill is sick. You just have to realize that the stuff that he said 30 years ago is out of date because it was 30 years ago. You can't blame him for the shit that he said 30 years ago because he has progressed in the last 30 years. So that is that for questions. That's all I got for today. Thank you guys so much for contributing. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys like this, if you guys made it this far, if you guys want me to do more AMAs this style, make sure to hit that like, make sure to hit that subscribe, make sure to share it with your friends so the views go up, because for me to want to make more of these, I want to know that people are getting something out of them. So please let me know if this is something you want to see more of. Thank you so much. And if you guys need more help, hit those links below, because I will be able to get your shit sorted for you if you can't figure it out on your own. Peace out. Thank you again.